Welcome back to the Bourne Classic Car Show, where Jason has come across a rather unusual car for his teenage kick.
Unusual maybe, Miss Mallory, but back when it was launched, this car was the height of cool.
Remember those cars you lusted after as a teenager but could never afford to buy, let alone insure? Well, there must be stacks of you watching right now that felt that way about this car, the first ever Golf GTI.
And this one is absolutely stunning. It's a Mark 1. This car was actually imported from Germany because at the time in 1980 you couldn't get them to the UK dealers. So the original owner went to Germany, spec'd this car up to the hilt.
And then stuck it in a garage for 12 years, which is why this car looks like it's just come out of a showroom and has only got 68,000 miles.
It has. In fact, it looks like it's done 6,800 miles. Now, when you look at the inside of this car, a few things tell you that this was one of the very, very first ones. First thing is the dashboard. It's got a square binnacle with the round dials. The later cars moved away from that. And actually, this has got a 5-speed gearbox. So the original ones, if you remember, had a 4-speed gearbox, but this was an option. So it gives you a little bit more top-end performance.
You'll also notice that it's got a factory-fit sunroof, a lot of these rotted round the edges, but because this car has been looked after and garaged for so long, there's absolutely no marks of any wear and tear on there.
No, and what's remarkable about this car is, I mean, you think now we're on to like Mark 5 Golf GTI, they've really struggled to better this car in many respects, despite the fact it's got a 1.6 litre fuel-injected engine with just 110 brake horsepower. It'll still reach 60 miles an hour from standstill in around 8 seconds.
It's quite amazing, and what I love about this is that it's just as it was built.
Yeah.
It hasn't been modified, there's nothing trick on it. This is how they were built, and it's really hard to find ones that are completely as they were designed to be, rather than modified.
Exactly. I mean, the seat fabric on this, a lot of the tuned up, sort of specced up, bad boy custom versions, they've retrimmed in leather and all this. It's just lovely to see the original tartan on there, and even the bolsters of the seat, which often wear because they're quite deeply dished when you get in and out. Now, one of the other giveaways that tells you that this is one of the very original ones is the light clusters on these. They're tiny. A lot smaller than the later cars there. So again, little visual cues to the trained eye that will tell you that this is really as special as it is. But what's it worth? Well, back when this was new in 1980, difficult to get the exact figure because this car was imported from Germany. It's got a few extras on it, but I reckon somewhere around the £8,000 mark. I haven't seen one as nice as this ever, so I'm going to take a little bit of a guess here. I would think that it's going to realise something between £6,000 and £8,000 on the open market. But you can pick up, you know, an early one in not such good condition for £2,000, £2,500. But values in the last year or so have really started to rise quite dramatically.
Well, it's a teenage kick for both of us. I'm sure it must be for a lot of you. It's quite affordable to most of us now, and there's nothing like the original masterpiece.